Two games, Wargame Red Dragon and Arma 3. Similar, yet distinctly different. Let's get into it. Alright, first up, let's go ahead and have a look at the game world in Wargame Red Dragon and a typical map. You can see it's pretty well defined for being an older RTS game. That was close. Let's take a look at this map. Here's another map with some water. You can actually zoom right down onto the level of the road. Trees aren't so bad as actually, and so that's pretty nice. It's an interesting looking, interesting topography. Here you've got this nice hill. Looks like some good hiding places in here. Little community here, a little village. And we've got a pretty nice looking port as well. See, it looks pretty decent. Water looks pretty good. Now here's a different map. And generally the maps have the same overall graphical fidelity, I guess you could say, or the same similar look to them in this game. Similar plants and a similar looking sky, or similar colors. AI is not the best sometimes. Effects are pretty good. I don't think that helicopter has a chance with all the tanks. Into the ground. Let's take a look at some of the models. You can see they're pretty well rendered. You've got the dust kicking up. It's interesting maneuver. Of course, here in this RTS, you're not able to really control units in the same way as in Arma 3. It's not that kind of a game. But graphics wise, they don't look too bad. Take a little firefight here. One thing worth also noting in this Wargame Red Dragon, it's different era. It's pretty controlled on the era in the 90s. Mostly, whereas in Arma 3 you can pretty much do whatever you want with their era depending on mods that you load. And part of the fun, of course, is the deck building and comparing the stats. Let's look at the F-14s. You don't have a lot of options in Wargame Red Dragon as far as units. As far as skins are concerned, you can basically just pick your nation, whereas in Arma 3 you can do skins and mods. Let's see, here's the F-117. That's a pretty good rendered model, in my opinion, for this just being an RTS. And you don't see the aircraft very well when you're actually in game. They just move so fast. Now, of course, this is an RTS, so it's specifically set up for getting into details and units, comparing the units. Let's take a look at this chopper. Now this particular model, you can actually see into the cockpit. Alright, let's see if we can't see what an A-10 looks like. A lot of fire coming out of the back of that thing. Let's take a look at this model. A lot of flame coming out of that engine as well. But the unit is generally rendered pretty good, doing some interesting moves, maneuvers. And of course, this game is, I would say, much more straightforward than a game like Arma 3. We've got solo, if you want to play a campaign, or you can do skirmish modes. And then you've also got your multiplayer settings. You can go and enter to a session in multiplayer. It's pretty straightforward. And then your profile, you can actually replay particular sessions that you've had. So this game, Wargame Red Dragon, is definitely pretty straightforward. Of course, you've got to learn the strategy behind it and building your particular decks, how you want to build a deck. So there is a lot of strategy in this type of a game. Strategy. Let's go ahead and have a look at Arma 3. Alright, starting with this map, you can see that we've got some islands around here, and then we've got a main island. Let's go ahead and do a quick look around. We're starting over on this small island, and we'll just work our way around. This island here has some nice mountainous hills, and it's got some nice terrain along the coast with this water. Let's go up this way. There's a nice little town over here. What else do we got? So you can see there's some nice little islands close together. There's an airport here. There's actually several airports on this particular map. You see we got some aircraft in the vicinity. Let's go take a look at this. There's like a volcano in this one. Go ahead and go down, and there's another airport. Let's take a look at this port. Pretty nice port. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at this map. I apologize for the weather conditions, but Arma does give you quite a lot of control over the weather, so it's going to be a little bit hard to see some of the features of this map with the weather way that it is right now. But even with the fog layer that we've got, it does look pretty nice as far as ambience is concerned. But I'll be back when the weather clears and we have a little more better visibility for taking a look at this map. So now we got a sunny, nice afternoon clearing. little bit of air traffic. So yeah, this Arma 3 is really made and built for being a sandbox game compared to Wargame Red Dragon, which is straight up 8 RTS. And Arma 3 is a multiplayer game, I would say, first, but it's a sandbox game, essentially. The maps are very large and expansive in Arma 3. You've even got this little bit of a desert area out here. Textures are pretty good when you come right down to the ground, as you can see. Trees are pretty well detailed as well. It does depend on your graphics settings, though. Let's go ahead and take a look at this desert map. We're at the airport here on the desert map, and it appears that our visibility is, well, looks like we've got a dust storm out here in the desert, which is a little bit unfortunate because I want to show it off. We'll have to let it pass, I guess. Alright, looks like our dust storm has passed, and assets are pretty nice depending on the map that you use in here in Arma. Alright, we're taking a look at this other map here. And this one's a nice green, a lot of green and some fields. It's a pretty flat map. I like the contrast of the colors, the darker green, and you've got the lighter, like a wheat field. I believe this is in Germany. But there's a lot of variation in Arma 3 for maps, and a lot of good details. I believe this is a community map, but you can do a lot of modding with Arma 3. Import different maps. So as you can see, the models are pretty good in Arma 3. This is the A10 in this case. Pretty darn good. It's a Harrier. These are mods, some of these. Now here's a DLC. Let's go take a look at the Cougar. This is a community DLC add-on. And you can actually see when you're flying. See if we can take a look at that. Don't mind the AI, but the model itself is quite detailed, depending on whether it's a mod or not. Let's go ahead and look at the F-117 Stealth. Here's my favorite plane. It's the F-18. See what this does. Yep. That's a lot of fun. Nice soft landing. Excellent. And also, we should probably mention the units themselves. So your playable character details are pretty good. You can see. Good job there, sir. Well, that's me. You can see A lot of action going on in this. See that helicopter, seen better days. There's nighttime. It's another thing you can do in Arma 3. Change the time of the day. Change weather. Here's our helicopter. Brief look at what it looks like inside. Sounds are pretty good. Working gear. There's no pilot. Not the best landing. Anyways, that's a look at Arma 3. So we got two great games, Wargame Red Dragon and Arma 3. Thanks for watching.